Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome here once again to the WildWestGamer with me, the WildWestGamer, here in the Gaming Grotto for another review of a video game. Today it is the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers for the PlayStation 2. This game, what can I say? This game is just so awesome. I mean, out of everything, out of all sci-fi, or fantasy, sorry, not sci-fi, out of all fantasy, in fact, out of everything, Lord of the Rings, I have to say, is probably my most favourite thing, favourite universe ever. Ever created. The mythology, the universe, the works by J.R.R. Tolkien, the films by Peter Jackson, even the animated ones. I mean, the animated films, everything to do with the Tolkien universe. I love. Middle-earth is just fantastic in my point of view. I absolutely adore it. And the Lord of the Rings are a set of films that I will not just watch. I will watch I will watch all of them. And I'm talking, I've got the special edition, extended versions. I will watch all of those back to back. I really absolutely adore. I really do adore these films, the products. And of course, when the films were released, I went nuts for them. But of course, there was a video game not far behind, and these are fantastic. They are so good. I mean, as far as movie licenses go, we all know the golden rule, which is never trust a movie-based video game. They normally always suck. They're normally always crap. But in this case, they are fantastic. They are so good. I mean, you've got a game which is not just a straight up action brawler, but it's also an RPG light. You upgrade your characters with these abilities after each level, with the points you've got from performing well in combat, which is really cool. In this game, you get the choice to play as Aragorn, Legolas, or Gimli, though at the beginning you do play as Isildur in a very cool tutorial mode where you fight during the last alliance against the forces of Mordor. At the base of Mount Doom, where Sauron is defeated. This is an awesome game, an absolutely fantastic game, and you play as these three characters through the events of the Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers. And at the end of it, you get a sneak peek for Return of the King. So this is a really well done game, full on done. It helps mind that New Line Cinema and Wingnut and Peter Jackson himself were very keen on keeping their finger on the dial with this one. Peter Jackson is a man, much like Steven Spielberg with regard to the Medal of Honor games. He likes to keep his finger on the dial. Sorry, the Lord of the Rings music just is a really beautiful. Just really beautiful Lord of the Rings music. Again, I'm a bit of a girl when it comes to my Lord of the Rings music. It is very beautiful music, well written, and this game uses it to such good effect. You fight through all of the levels with the music, all of the Lord of the Rings music, all of the the entire look, the character designs, everything, even the voices have all been taken from the films for these games. This is the complete Lord of the Rings experience for the PlayStation 2. This is absolutely, if you are a Lord of the Rings fan, what you want to play. No Lord of the Rings game, with exception to the Return of the King, which is something I will review, has ever come close to being this much fun in the Lord of the Rings universe. They have tried with Lego, they have tried with turn-based role-playing games, they have tried with Battlefield, Star Wars Battlefront style, switching between characters gameplay. None of that has worked, but these games succeeded. They are so well put together. I mean, it's fantastic to see a game like Lord of the Rings not be squandered. And this is how it all started. There is a game, The Hobbit, for the PS2 as well, and that's very good as well. It differs slightly in the style. It's more of a cutesy kids version, but again, that's very good. But these games absolutely are the spot-on experience. You do play as Legolas, you do play as Gimli, you do play as Aragorn. You have the voices of the characters. And they're each one has very different sorts of moves. Each one has very different sorts of play styles. Aragorn is the straight up, brawler. He's in there with sword moves. You've got strong and light attacks. Parries. Special blocks which lead into counters. very awesome. And also you can use, you know, your bow and arrow or your axe in Gimli's case, throwing axes in Gimli's case. Legolas is again the bowman, so he's very much about firing off arrows. He's very, very quick. He's got his 2 hunting knives, which again are lethal. You know, gets some really good swings on those. And then of course Gimli, who's just the little battle tank who barrels through. You know, with his axe, he's really, really, you know, very strong attacks. It's just his reach, which, you know, is slightly sacrificed. Enemy types as well. You've got fantastic enemy types, and again, it really helps that the design and the sounds are all there. You've got you know, you've got goblins, you've got orcs, you've got urukai, then you've got all the different types in between. So you've got, you know, you've got like skirmishers, you've got you know, you've got the heavy sort of like heavy goblins, I guess you call them, like bulkier ones with more armor, you know, the ones who are going to be brawling back with you. You've got the berserkers for the urukai, you've got crossbowmen, archers, you fight ring wraiths, you fight trolls, or you fight a troll, you fight the watcher in the water, you fight in all of the most key battles. Like I said, you fight the Last Alliance, you fight Weathertop, you do Moria Balin, no, not Balin. No, yes, Balin's Tomb. Yeah, Balin's Tomb. Yeah, you fight Balin's Tomb in Moria. You fight Amon Hen, of course, where Boromir dies. You fight Lurtz there. You fight everywhere. You know, through Rohan, Helm's Deep, culminating in Helm's Deep, where this fantastic battle takes place, spread over about 3 or 4 levels. Absolutely fantastic. And as you play through the game, you unlock, you know, character interviews, cast interviews, design interviews, gameplay interviews. You know, you've got interviews from Elijah Wood, Viggo Mortensen, Orlando Bloom, and John Rhys Davies, who play Gimli, and Ian McKellen. So a good range. But there's all this other stuff for the film and for the game, like development stills, stuff like that. I mentioned the music. The music again plays so well. If they, you know, everything about this is from the game. They've not thrown away any chance of, you know, getting as much as they can from it. It's fantastic, it really is. And then once you complete this, there's something called the Palantir of Saruman, where you play through the Towers of Orthanc, each level's fighting harder and harder enemies until you get to the very top, where you take on Saruman. Well, you challenge him, you don't actually fight him, but you challenge him. Then you unlock Isildur, and you get Isildur as a secret bonus character to play through the game again. And I did this, I played this game for 100% completion, because it is fantastic. This game is so satisfying to play, because like I said, it is the incomplete Lord of the Rings experience. Even when you slice enemies, the same sounds from the films. When you kill them, the same gurgling effect on the orcs and the goblins. You know, when you're fighting ring wraiths, you're using flames to set them on fire, and you know, and hearing them scream as they, you know, gets caught alight is absolutely, you know, it's both sends a, you know, a shudder down you, and also, you know, fills you full of, you know, confidence and carrying on. Again, the troll barks in, you know, pain, that sort of you know, that shrieking noise, and of course you when you're doing the beginning of the Last Alliance, you know, you've got arrows whistling past, swords clanging, orcs screeching, everything. It's so well done. A really nice thing about this game, and this is something I really wish more movie license games did, is there's this lovely it transcends really nicely between in-game and film footage, because it to start off most levels you get film footage, which then cuts, is very nicely blends into in-game footage. So there's this bit, I can't there's a bit where Aragorn in the film, Aragorn comes up to the camera and is looking quite intense. That not slowly, but it quite, you know, nicely then blends into game engine, and then the game engine carries on telling the story with a slight tweak on it. You don't get the full fellowship in this game when you see him walking around in cutscenes, because the game just can't render all of them as well and keep the game you know, going well. You don't really fight along that many of your actual fellowship in this. The beginning levels in Moria, you do fight along Gimli, you fight along most of the fellowship when you're in Balin's Tomb, and you fight along Gandalf and then all three of the main characters, Legolas, Gimli, and Aragorn, in Helm's Deep. But some of them you are running through by yourself, taking taking names and kicking ass. So it's a really good game, just really well made. Like I said, you upgrade them, you upgrade their health, you upgrade their moves. You get these really nice moves where you get like Bane of the Balrog, Bane of Saruman, Bane of whatever. That translates as a certain like uber finisher for certain enemy types. So say if I've got if I unlock the Bane of Saruman, if I've got an Uruk runs at me, if I block that and then hit the right combo, I'll immediately go into this really nice swish, really nicely done animation where Aragorn, or Legolas or Gimli or whoever, has their own specific killer to instantly kill an enemy. You can hit enemies and you're down. There's nothing better than laying an axe into an Uruk-hai, and it's really nice, as you really break it down on them. The game, for what it is, really makes you feel like you're in these cataclysmic videos. I mean, Helm's Deep, I was really worried. How are they going to do Helm's Deep on a console like the PlayStation 2? Well, it's really, really well done. They keep enough enemies going on in the foreground with enough stuff coming in from the background to make you feel like, yeah, these enemies are always here, always piling in. When in actual fact, you're only perhaps dealing with, I don't know, I mean, look at this. You can see there's loads of enemies on screen at once, and they're all doing their own thing. They're all trying to get in at you. So yeah, I just can't recommend this enough to Lord of the Rings fans. If you're not a Lord of the Rings fan, if you're a brawler, like an action brawler adventure fan of games, check this out as well. I mean, the thing is, everyone should check this out because it's so cheap nowadays. But if you're a massive fan of Lord of the Rings like I am, then you're going to love this. I sold my PlayStation 2, my first one, a long time ago with all of the games, and I regret that because I had some classics on that. But the best, which I always came back to, the Two Towers and the Return of the King. They were fantastic. They were brilliant. They were so well done. And once you do it, you'll want to go and play the Return of the King because that's even bigger and even better. So yeah, EA did this. Like I've said, EA's recent, they have gone downhill with them. Instead of making good games, they just want to sell games, and these tend to be rushed or half finished or not very popular at all. I mean, a lot of people online, you haven't got to look far to find forums filled with people who are angry at EA's marketing style. But for this, medal on a front line, and for the Lord of the Rings games, I commend EA. You have made some very good games here, and guys, perhaps look, if you are watching, hey, if one of you is watching, look back at what you did, look back at the games you made. I've got Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone PlayStation 1 review I'm going to do. Games like that which you guys did were fantastic. They were so good, and you're telling me that you can't translate that onto a console with more power and more ability. That's sad if that's the case. You really, there's someone left that company clearly who was bringing the magic. So yeah, if you love the Lord of the Rings, if you love action brawler games, if you love swords and sorcery, get this game. Check it out. Buy it. You're gonna love it. I guarantee it. I, of course, am a massive Lord of the Rings fanboy. I was gonna always love this, but because it so well uses the license, get it. Really, really good, and it does give you chills, playing as your favourite characters, going through the Lord of the Rings events. So yeah, guys, I would seriously recommend it. You're going to love it. You're really going to want to get stuck in, and you're going to do what I do, I expect, and play it from start to finish, back to back. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review, guys, from the WildWestGamer. As always, I am the WildWestGamer, and I will be trying to get out as many videos as I can over the coming couple of hours. Thanks again for the subscriptions, thank again for the views, and yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, keep watching, keep enjoying the channel, as I hope you are, and leave your comments and opinions and suggestions, and I will see you on the other side. See you later, guys. Chill.